Hey, hello everybody and welcome. Do you know what's holding you back from full-time RVing?
Yeah, so stay with us because we're going to be sharing what to identify or how to identify exactly what's holding you back from full-timing and what you need to do about it.
That's right.
The RV life. We're surrounded with the message that it's a life you have to wait until retirement to have and a life that only some can afford. And while it might be reality for those who want to believe that's true, we're on a mission to change that mindset and help people to stop wondering and start wandering to create a life they love.
Join us in conversations about how to design your RV life. We're Bryan Luann Street, and this is the RV Living Show.
Hello, welcome back. So we're Bryan Luann Street from Where the Streets Wander. In case you're joining us for the first time, we'd like to welcome everyone who's watching live and who's on the replay. We're excited that you've joined us today, and we're going to dive into a topic that affects a lot of people who want to go full time. There are things that hold you back, and we just want to start. We're going to do. It's almost like a series that we're going to launch into, and this is the first one. And we're going to kind of go over the things that you need to identify, and then we're going to take each one of those things that you identify, and we're going to dive deeper each week and give you some solutions to overcoming these things in your life. Because if you have a dream and a goal to go full-time, you need to do it. And if you can overcome those things, that's what's important, right?
Yeah, it's worth overcoming the things because it is it's a very unique lifestyle that not many people get to enjoy.
Yes, and we are enjoying it right now. The wind's blowing. If you see our hair moving, or we got the wind blowing through the RV. It's a really beautiful day here in Central Florida. And so we want you to introduce yourselves. You can go into the comments and let us know who's watching with us live. And on today's topic, if you have something that's holding you back and you need to overcome that so that you can go full time, leave that there too. And we will talk to you after this episode in the comments, and we'll talk about those things.
That's right.
And so the topic of today, or the title of today, is Discover What's Holding You Back from Full Timing. So we did talk a minute ago about identifying those things. And the way to identify them is to figure out exactly what it is that's holding you back.
Yes, when everybody may have these different for everyone who wants to go full time, and if we start thinking about it, there might even be things holding you back that you don't even realize.
Yes, because sometimes what we think is holding us back is just the physical part, but then there's a mental part too, that it's a mindset, and it's a mindset shift. When you want to change up your life and do something completely different, there are things that get in the way, and usually it's ourselves that get in our own way. And so we want to talk about that today. So the first thing that you want to do is identify it, right? So, and maybe you don't understand the mindset behind it at this point, but you know you need income, right? And what's one of the other things that might hold them back?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that, this was even in our own life is all the stuff we've got up for all the years. We've collected all that stuff in our house, and our garage is filled full of things, and it's challenging part.
Yeah, to think about getting rid of all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that now all of a sudden, because we want a full-time, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Like all that mindset stuff that you go through when you're thinking about it, because on one hand you're super excited because you want to go full-time. This is a dream come true. You want to hop in your RV, you want to travel 49 states. You can fly to Hawaii,
but yeah, even in our own life, I know that when we decided to go full-time, I remember that I didn't think I'd have a problem getting rid of everything, but as we got more and more into it, and I started looking at all these things, discovering things that I'd had for years. Like, this is a little harder than I thought it was going to be.
It is hard. Mm-hmm. And then if you need income and you don't know how much money it takes to RV, and maybe you need to still work and you're not ready to retire. Like we went on the road before we retired. And so that whole, well, what does it really take? Can I really do this? And all those things and thoughts can hold you back from even even attempting to see if this lifestyle is right for you.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I think that may be holding people back, and this could be even in our own life, is friends and family.
Yeah, you think that you're leaving, and there's that mentality of you want to still have those connections, and it is hard, because we struggled with that too. We have 3 children and 9 grandchildren, and but we also had the dream of full-time RVing. So, that we had to identify those things that were holding us back so that we can get to do what we want to do. And that doesn't mean that you ignore what's holding you back. It means that you find a solution. And so we're going to talk some more about that today.
Mm-hmm.
So once you identify the obstacle, you want to develop a plan. If you followed us at any length at all, or if this is the first time you're hearing us, I'm a planner. We always want to develop a plan. And the plan can be as simple as, finding out more, like
research. Yeah,
research.
absolutely.
But sometimes that research can take on different forms, whether it's, looking at RV Trader for RVs, or, finding out about RV systems,
right.
All that research. So you have to understand, first of all, what's holding you back so that you can make the plan and decide which way you're going to figure this out, right?
Even thinking about making a plan is that when we first started out in this, I had a different idea about how things were going to work out. And the more we researched and the more we spent time learning more about this lifestyle, opportunities opened up that kind of changed my idea, changed my plan, should I say, differently. It opened up opportunities to allow us to do things that I didn't think we'd be able to do.
Well, it turned your I can't into I can.
I can, absolutely.
And I say your I can't because we're different personalities. I am completely this, I can figure this out. I can do it. Not that I'm super great. I'm a pretty good problem solver, but at the same time, my perspective is different. Where Bryan tends to think the first thing is, we can't do that. Well, why can't we do that? And everybody's different. It's not negative. It's not positive. It's overcoming your perspective in order to find the solution to your problem.
Yeah, I tend to look at the problems first instead of the solution.
Yeah. So I guess we make a good team that way. Hopefully you have that good team on for yourself. But, there was a book that I saw a title of, and it's called Everything is Figureoutable. And you totally can figure out how to go full time and overcome these obstacles. And you may not overcome them the way you think you're going to overcome them right now. And that's the difference. And so that's what we're going to dive into. This is the beginning of it. Like I said, this is going to start a series on us giving you some solutions to the things that are holding you back. So if you're watching this on the replay, you may find other episodes. If you're watching this live with us for the first time, that's coming up in the future. And you're going to want to stay subscribed so that you can actually get that information. And and what I want you to do right now too is, if you're here with us live, in the comments, put what's holding you back. And if it's not one of the things we already have planned, we will plan to cover that in another episode. So,
right.
Okay, well, we're going to get to the third thing that you need to do after you identify what's holding you back and what kind of plan you're going to make. Now we're going to take the next step. But first, we're going to have a word from our sponsor.
This episode of the RV Living Show is brought to you by the Fulltime RV Framework, a 6-month journey to creating a full-time RV life.
This program includes a 4-module, 26-lesson video course, a bi-weekly freedom call on Zoom, and group mentoring in a private community. Downsized RV living course, so you can learn to downsize with ease. The RV Your New Home Blueprints, so you can learn about your new home and how to use it. The Roadmap to RV Living Planner, where you can plan your transition. Full-time RV maintenance and budgeting, and a Make Money on the Road resource guide. Everything in one place, so you can stop wondering and start wandering.
Learn more about enrolling in this complete solution for transitioning to the full-time RV life at fulltimervframework.com.
So just to let you know that the Full-Time RV Framework, we just closed enrollment last week. But we open enrollment again in the spring, and we open enrollment a couple times a year. But it's always with a Freedom Kit bonus worth $591. So if you want to know more and learn more about the framework, you can get on our wait list. The link is with this episode, or you can join our wait list here at streetswander.com/fulltime-rv-framework. So the last thing that you're going to want to do when you've identified what's holding you back and that you've kind of made a plan, okay, well, I need more information. I need to do A, B, C, or D. Well, now you want to take action, because if you don't take action, your plan is nothing more than just a list of things to do that you never do.
That's right. I mentioned earlier that I kind of tend to look at the problem rather than the solution. We started taking action and started investigating this lifestyle. I was still unsure at first. Basically, it was just it was such a different thing to think about. I wanted it, but I was unsure about it. But the more actions we took, the more we learned. Like I said, it changed my mind. It really did.
Well, the thing is that full-time RVing is not the social norm. And if you do it before you're retired, it's less of a social norm. Although COVID has definitely changed the face of people being able to work remotely, this whole idea of selling everything you have, moving into your RV and traveling full-time, not everybody does it. And so there's only a pocket full of people that have actually been successful at this journey and traded up their life for memories. And so, your neighbor, when you start talking about it, may not be all that supportive of you. And so because you don't have the knowledge, which is the power behind it, that can just, your opinions of other people can totally negate what you're trying to accomplish. So that's why getting more information, taking action, staying in touch with us on our RV Living show. And if you need more help transitioning because you want coaching and mentoring, the Full-Time RV Framework is something that you would love to be a part of. We have freedom calls twice a month. We have a great group of people in there right now who 3 of them have already sold everything, moved in their house, and they're on the road. But they wouldn't have done it without the support and the friends that they've fostered inside the program. And so that doesn't mean that you can't do this without that program. You certainly can. But if you need that extra bit, that is the thing for you.
Yeah, you just mentioned something about, your neighbors may not understand it, but even, some of the worst, I say worst, some of the could be the worst things to talk to this about is your friends and family, because if they don't understand what you're trying to do, they think of it from a different perspective, and they think of, if I tell them not to do it, it's protecting them.
Yes, or they think you're crazy.
Or you think you're crazy, you've lost your mind. Some of the worst, some of the worst things you have to think about is not everybody is going to understand this. And the more you research and the more you understand the lifestyle, what's just right for you, that's what matters.
That's right. That's right. And that's what we want to encourage you today for sure, is to, make sure it's right for you, but be sure that you're not putting up those obstacles in front of yourself and using them as excuses to not follow through in your dream, because that is terrible if you let that happen.
Yeah, it's like what we talked about in what we did in our course. We did have these people, we become like a community, and we come together and we support one another. And I think that alone is really powerful, because you're speaking of like-minded people who have the same dream, and it's really encouraging.
It is encouraging. And that's also why we take comments on our shows, is because we want you guys to be able to, get the information that you need so that you can make the decision that's right for you, because the RV lifestyle is a wonderful lifestyle. And we would love that, everyone who wants to, that can do it, and, that you can figure it out.
That's right.
So just in review, today we talked about identifying what's holding you back. And we did mention a few of those things like downsizing or income or leaving your friends and family. Those things might be holding you back from making a decision. And the next thing that you need to do is, once you've identified it, make a plan on how to overcome that. How are you going to get information? Are you going to maybe invest in a course? Or are you going to get in community so that you can be with like-minded people? And the third thing is take action on those things. Once you decide what you're going to do, then take action on those things. And don't let your dream become just a wish, because that is exactly what a dream is that you don't take action on. It's right. Just a wish, and you never fulfill what you really want to do. So we really want to encourage you to think about that today. And next week's episode, we're going to be diving deeper into one of these topics, either income, downsizing, or leaving your friends and family. We haven't decided which one we want to approach yet, but we will be doing one of those. And as we go to the comments, we're going to talk to some people who are here with us live and maybe have some other obstacles that they're doing, and we can talk about those. So, all right, so let's get into the comments. Thank you for being here. Oh, Lisa says, yes, you cut your hair. How cute is that? Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. It was a big decision, but I did it. So I thank you for noticing. And Freddie says, hello from Stamford, Connecticut, 34 degrees here, and the wind is blowing. I know, I'm sorry. It's really nice to be in the warmer weather for sure.
It is. Yes.
Yeah, because at this time of year back in Asheville, where we left for full time from, it's in the 40s. So yeah, I get it. Nikki Laura says, hello, and great. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Pam says she loves the new haircut. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. And Nikki says she would love to buy a trailer. It's the down payment I'm having problems with. Yeah, so that money piece before you even get started full-timing can be an obstacle to overcome. And one of the ways that we started looking at it, because, honestly, we had some debt before we started full-timing that we wanted to get rid of, and we already had an RV. So part of that debt was the RV payment. And right. Before full-timing, we kind of wanted that to be either a lot lower or gone. And so we realized that we were, wasting money on the weekends by doing things that weren't, they were distractions, because we were working full-time and we had fun, there's no doubt. But when your focus changes and you can have something that you've got a goal for, maybe that can help you figure out how you can save faster for that down payment.
It's true, because we were in our life, because of our jobs, we were having, our weekends was our getaway time. Yeah. And we look back, really looked at our budget. We were spending a lot of money on that.
We were, just to kind of escape.
Escape, yeah.
Yeah. So I hope that helps, Nikki. So, but we can talk about that in another episode for sure. Mm-hmm. And then Freddie says, we'll be in Florida this time next year on our way to full-time. Yay, yes. Freddie, that's awesome. I'm very excited for you. And Kelly says, getting rid of all possessions, including family heirlooms, is what holding us back. Plus, Mom is in her 80s and is the only parent we have left. I understand that, and that you might just need to be planning for doing it after she's gone. And we had the same thing. We had an RV. We were not considering full-time until after my dad passed away, because you can't be there all the time, and it's hard. That's definitely an obstacle. And the family heirlooms, we actually kept one. It's in our storage unit. Our daughter is going to take that eventually when her kids are a little bit older. So we opted to store those kinds of things so that then she could take advantage of them, and then we can go to her house and enjoy them.
Yeah, certain things you can store for sure.
Yes.
Any way you can get the job done to get you on the road.
Yep. And Freddie says she's trying to get rid of her possessions, but it's tough. It is tough.
It is a tough.
It is very tough. I mean, Pam, who's on here, she's actually in our full-time RV framework, and she can testify to the fact that we talk about this kind of thing in our freedom calls, and we give you the resources inside the framework that you can downsize quickly and a lot easier. I can't say that it's easy. Okay. There's nothing easy about getting rid of your stuff, and some things hurt to get rid of more than others, but having a plan and a dream and a goal in place and looking towards that is all about what the framework is about and all the strategies for downsizing. So it is hard to get rid of your stuff for sure.
And like I said, when I mentioned earlier, when I started getting rid of my stuff, at first some of it was pretty easy, but then it got pretty hard. But you know, we worked through it, we got rid of it, and I have to say one thing, that I don't miss any of it today.
No, we don't.
We don't miss any of it.
I did think about my Nancy Drew books. I know that sounds so weird, but I did think about that the other day. I had all 52 original Nancy Drew books. They weren't original, like first edition. I would have probably kept them in the storage unit just because that I loved Nancy Drew as a kid. And so, but I hadn't read them in however old I am, minus 10 years, you know, so 40 something years that I hadn't even read them. But it's funny when you think about things, but if you don't think about that those things are holding you back from actually getting on the road because you want to keep them, that's just something you have to kind of work through emotionally.
You had to pick it up and look at it. Am I going to let this hold me back? Or am I going to be able to get rid of it?
Right.
It really helps a lot.
Right. So Kelly says, we have 1,000 trails and plan to go south next winter for at least a month or 2 or 3. Oh, awesome. It's nice to get out of that cold for sure. In fact, we're in 1,000 trail. Well, it's an Encore park, but it's part of the 1,000 trail system right now where we are in Orlando. And it's a nice place. There's quite a few here in Central Florida, which makes it nice.
Yes. Can move from park to park.
From park to park. So, and so Kelly, do you have the elite membership, or do you have the regional, the 500, like 495, 595 membership? I'd just be interested to know which one you have. So anyway, while I'm waiting on her to do that, we are going to reiterate today, you know, whatever's holding you back, we want to support you and help you figure out how you can move forward. And so be sure to, you know, keep subscribed, and moving forward, we're going to go into a lot of these things and give you some solutions. So I'm not sure if Kelly, I know there's a 20-second delay on StreamYard, so I wanted to give her a chance. But anyway, what I was going to say, oh, TT's for travel trailer, no 1,000 trails. Okay, we have a TT. Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, that'll be great. So you can go south and stay in your travel trailer.
That's right.
How often do you move from park to park? Well, we have the 21-day elite 1,000 trails, and I wanted to say that we actually bought it secondhand, and we're going to do an episode on buying 1,000 trails membership, the elite package, or I think they call it the Odyssey now. And the Odyssey gives you 28 days. We have 21 days park to park. And oh, I'm sorry if we're frozen. I don't know. It could be our internet. It could be yours. Sorry about that. But we're going to do an episode on buying a 1,000 trails package secondhand, because that's the best way to save money, and that's the best way to buy 1,000 trails. So
yeah, but to answer that question, since we've been here, we've been moving every 1 to 2 weeks, I think, because we really haven't stayed at a park. Well, we ended up moving.
Yeah. We like to try to stay about that 3-week mark, but yeah, this fall we've kind of moved around a little bit more because we've had the opportunity to do that. So that makes it nice.
Makes it a little nicer.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye, and we will see everyone next week. And if you're going to be watching this on the replay, you can post your questions and comments, and we will see them and answer you. So you guys have a great, great week. And we will be back before Thanksgiving. So if you join us live, we'll see you next week.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us for the RV Living Show. We hope this episode helps you in creating an RV life you love.
Until next time, we encourage you to stop wandering and start